that is in this area and they suspect that it's here to commit criminal activities or what is against the law. So they must just take the number plate of that vehicle.
Students at the Walter Sisulu University say they will not stop demanding justice for student Sisonke Mbolekwa, who was shot and killed while protesting at the institution in April. Students are seeking for the bail of accused staffer in the matter, Manelisi Mampani, to be revoked. The EFF Youth Command's Uridiretsi Motsepe says they will fight for the Mbolekwa family to see justice.
You would know that universities are ordinarily gun-free zones, yet a res manager trained who has expertise in dealing with students, even in situations of high tensions and conflicts, comes to campus with a gun and an unlicensed firearm on top of that. So we believe that his intentions on the day were indeed to kill Sisonke Mbolekwa.
And wanted fugitives Shepherd and Mary Bushiri have argued that the chief resident magistrate in Malawi committed legal errors when she ordered their extradition. The pair has launched a review application before the High Court in Lilongwe to review the judgment of the court, which ordered that they face the music here in South Africa. The South African government applied for their extradition to answer to a string of charges after they fled the country in 2020, contravening their bail conditions. But the couple is challenging that judgment on 15 grounds. Zola Katkotashe reports.
Section 140, subsection 1 of Malawi's Criminal Procedure and Evidence Code provides that every judgment must have the points that must be determined, the decision of the court, and the reasons for it. Shepherd and Mary Bushiri argue that the Magistrates Court had no jurisdiction to hear the matter, as their arrest was not in compliance with the Extradition Act. They submit that this was not just a mere technicality, but constitutes non-compliance with the law, which effectively barred their arrest, and the proceedings which continued before the court were a miscarriage of justice. The fugitives want the judgment of the Magistrates Court reviewed and set aside. Zolega Kodashem, Eyewitness News.
A partly cloudy Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 8 degrees, peaking at 18. Pretoria 9 and 19. Vereeniging 7 and 18 as well. Lerato Hufela, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
We don't only concentrate on big things. People are asking me, where is the VAR? Where's VAR? And I said the month of April. I've done it. The money is there. The effort went out. FIFA, Mr. Bailey will tell you, they don't want the department to do it. They want SAFA to do it. The 90 million is there. Now we're waiting for SAFA to announce the company together with DSEC that will win the tender to do VAR. So people stop asking me where's VAR. I have done what I promised to do.
I want to concur that the minister's apology is inadequate. That it be minuted that the minister's apology is unsatisfactory. Thank you so much.
How many of your council and board members are present today? 10. How much did it actually cost you to bring all these people here for this meeting that is now being basically rescheduled so that we can have the minister to account? The meeting fees. Wait, are they being paid to come to this meeting?
Council members should be paid for attending any meeting that's related to NEC.
That means when they come back, they'll also get paid.
Yeah.
So you get paid for coming here, not accounting. But proceed, 307 per hour, per each. Chairperson, how does it exist in our country that we pay people to come and account to us?
Who's Mr. Thuo? About all right. Okay. I have a question here that Mr. Thuo, are you out on bail on fraud and mismanagement case involving SAFA fund to CEO and new NEC?
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Oh, he's warming up indeed. I can tell you that Ernst Middendorp is my guest tonight. But firstly, we're going to go all the way to Polokwane in Limpopo. SAFA Head of Communication standing by to chat to us all things to do with Bafana Bafana ahead of two very important games. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Sure, on the day that Manny Pacquiao, at the age of 46, decides that he wants to come back into boxing, at the age of 46, he returns to the ring. I mean, he's a former 8-division world champion, intending to fight on indefinitely. His comeback, it's not a joke, it starts on the 19th of July. He returns from a 4-year layoff, attempting to break his own record, becoming the oldest welterweight champion in boxing history. Is this guy crazy?
Champ is here. The legend Manny Pacquiao. Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Pacquiao, Mario Barrios for Barrios WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. July 19th, PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video from the historic MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Manny Pacquiao.
I'm Manny Pacquiao from 90s. I started my career of professional boxing in 1995 until now. So amazingly, that's a blessings from God, and the fire, the determination, eagerness to train hard, to work hard. My goal is to leave a legacy to the boxing fans. Legacy that can inspire to those young generation who are dreaming to be a champion.
Sure, dreaming to be a champion. Hey, Manny, good luck. Well, a man who is nowhere near a boxing ring and will never be in one because he might be the same age or older, I don't know. That is Mninawa Ntlogo. I mean, Polokwane is the battleground. Bafana Bafana is locked in for what they call a bit of a war, hey? New Peter Mokaba Stadium is going to be igniting this Friday. 19:30 is the kickoff time. South Africa's Warriors preparing for a massive clash against Tanzania. The tension, though, palpable. The excitement pretty much undeniable. And there's only one man who can pull back the curtain, take us pretty deep, though, into the heart of the action because he's that close to the action. Let's head off now to Mninawa Ntlogo, SAFA Head of Communications from Polokwane. Mninawa, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to your listeners.
The camp so far, we've heard Hugo Broos. He is in high spirits. He feels like Bafana Bafana can do no wrong right now. There's no sundowns in the camp. It's an agreement that he's had. For you, what can you share with us? The latest, is everybody there? Have they reported to camp?
Well, Rob, first of all, yeah, it's cold here, but yeah. Especially at night, that's when you feel it proper, and I guess it keeps us fresh, given why we're here. We're not here on holiday. But the last remaining players to join us, because we got here on Sunday, and the last remaining players arrived yesterday. That was Mukabini from Norway and Uluk Leroux from Sweden. So they were the last to arrive, and they immediately joined their teammates in training. There was no time to waste. They jumped in immediately, even though they were given just a little bit of leeway during training because they hadn't been part of the training. But other than that, it's been quite interesting watching the newcomers in the team integrating with the much more senior players who have been here for longer. And I mean, guys like Patrick Maswanganyi, including Luke himself, funny enough, arrived late, but he said something quite interesting to me today. He said the group that has been with this team for pretty much the last couple of years has made it their responsibility without even involving the coach. They've made it their responsibility to ensure that they guide the newcomers to this setup, because this is a setup that has succeeded purely because they function as a unit, as a family unit, and the spirit and the environment. They know when to get serious and they know when to loosen up a bit. But mostly when it's time to work, you see it in their faces. They change and it becomes that much. I've just come back from today's training session, for example, and the competitiveness of these players and this team. They were still arguing. They played against each other, and Coach Hellman was their referee. They were still arguing with him after he blew the final whistle, and they were demanding VAR because they felt that there was an opportunity that he didn't see, and they were quite heated. They were insisting, and the captain for the team, Gosnad, for the other team, Subisi, he was arguing, saying no, this can't be it because we cannot just have a different out goal like this. So it is that type of an environment where every training session you see them. And then I think I've said this to you, Rob, in the past, that the funny thing about them, when they arrive, they start from a certain level. But as we approach match day, you can see they start to pick up in tempo. They start to pick up in pretty much everything about them, including the body language. You can see that we are approaching the game. And I saw them today. And I know tomorrow I'll see a very different look about them, including up to match day. So that is pretty much what has been at play here today, as much as that actually the last couple of days as well. It's been that type of work and understanding that there's quite a number of players that are not here, and that is the Sundowns players and then other players. I think that the players has decided not to include for whatever reason or the other. And then we have a team playing in Bloemfontein that is also keeping an eye on to see what they can do and see how he integrates them, because the bigger pool of players, I think it's about 50 players or so that he selects from, and that group of players is the players that he feels are the ones who must take over from the current players that he has identified that are either approaching 30 or over 30 and will need to start to be integrated into the squad.
All right, it's the COSAFA Cup. Just a reminder for anybody that's listening over there in Bloemfontein, that's what Damni is referencing in terms of the other squad that is currently representing South Africa. So a great deal that is happening. And I make mention of the fact that some new faces, we look at times here, Mninawa, for leadership. I mean, you look for a real leader for Bafana Bafana in this match. Are there any of those leaders that are putting their hands up and saying they want to wear this armband?
I think because he already confirmed that Sibisi will take over the armband for these two matches, and then he gave his reasons why when he looked around at the players that he has in camp, why actually he went for him, because he says that he's been around, he understands what it means to lead from the front, he understands, he commands that much respect with the players that are here, and even if the other players that are not here. He still retains that leadership quality about him, and he felt that he would be the suitable person who can then ensure that we have this integration. Because I think that is the key and the crucial part of what we are seeing here. We have a number of new players who are getting a feel of what it is to play in the senior South African national team, and also we have players that have been here in this team, but for whatever reason, they've had limited opportunities or have not had that many chances to actually stake a claim to the starting 11 or even on the matchday squads. So there's a lot at stake for a number of reasons, and they all understand that this is quite a massive opportunity to convince the coach and ensure that whatever plans that he has going towards AFCON in December, as well as the crucial World Cup qualifiers, that we are playing in the next couple of months, they are part of the planning for those games. So it's not just playing friendly matches and leave it at that. There's quite a lot at stake, and I think his decision to then leave that responsibility to someone like Sibisi, who has been around, who has been with us in the trenches on the continent, in places where we've been to, and we've known that the odds were seriously stacked against us, and the environment was not as forgiving as it normally is perhaps in other parts of the continent. So he's somebody who understands exactly how to manage that situation and ensure that the change room remains committed to the cause, and anything else around us, we just leave it for someone else to interpret. So I think from that point of view, he is definitely somebody that the others can look up to and follow the lead. And as I mentioned earlier, the other players who have been part of the team for the longest time have insisted that they will not just leave him to sink or swim alone. They are available to ensure that they give him support and ensure that the team functions as a unit, including the newcomers that are here with us.
I mean, before I let you go, let me talk about the man himself, though, because we're touching on the players, the future, the potential, the leaders, the current leader. I mean, here's a guy who's now etched his name into the national team history. Clive Barker held the record, and he's now surpassed that record in terms of the longest serving Bafana Bafana coach that we have ever had since readmission, serving for 4 years. Unheard of. I think you know. From day one, when Jeff Butler stood proud and tall, but didn't really stand proud and tall because he was not able to stand before he was taken off the duty for that CV that was falsified. So since that day, we've almost had a national team coach every other year, and it started getting pretty boring, tedious, tiresome. It became predictable. One time it's a local coach, the next time bring a foreign coach, then a foreign coach comes in, bring a local coach. So that was the up and down that we were going through. But right now, though, I mean, even seems comfortable at press conferences telling journalists that, you guys, you support either Chiefs or Pirates or Sundowns. You come here with all sorts of preconceived notions of who I should be selecting. He is 120,000% his own man. How's he feeling right now just about him and where he is and where the country is?
I think, Darop, I think for me, from a personal level and interacting with him on a daily basis, because there are a number of things that we have to engage on in any given day from the start of camp to the last day of camp. The one quality about him that I appreciate is the fact that he's a very honest person. What you see is pretty much what you get. And he will tell you exactly what he wants and how he wants it. And I think it's the same for everyone else in camp. Everybody understands what their role is. Everybody understands what is required, what they need to get done. And once all of those things start going into the place where they are supposed to be going to, then he doesn't have to worry about anything else, and ensure that everybody knows that what they are required to do, and have full support for him and for the team and for the project that we are currently part of. So I think that for me has been one of the biggest reasons why when you see players arrive in camp, they arrive with huge smiles on their faces. I'm not saying they're not smiling from wherever they're coming from, but what I'm saying is when they arrive in camp, you can see, because there's that togetherness that he has crafted and that type of environment, which is quite something unique when you witness just about how everybody goes about their duties. So I think there's a lot to not just what you see on the pitch, but also what actually happens off the pitch, because a lot of that also contributes to the overall makeup of the team and how it succeeds and how it stands when we have challenges. And it's part and parcel of how we managed to get to where we are right now. So he has brought that into the team, and it's very evident. You can see it when you come to training. Then you see that here this is an environment that is now workmanlike, but at the same time very unified and very family orientated. And the work that everybody brings to the table is the work that people are not doing half-heartedly or doing just because they have to do it. No, everybody gives their all. And this is how we managed to get here.
He is Damni, otherwise in his ID, it's Mninawa Ntlogo. He is SAFA's head of communication, coming through live from Bulugwane. Damni, thank you so much indeed, Baba. A bundle full of information and knowledge. Good luck to the boys, and thank you so much for the information.
Always a pleasure, Daryl.
All right, so looking forward to it, guys, and please go and support our national team, Bafana Bafana. They are in action, in as much as after the break we will be in action. And our guest is none other than Ernst Middendorp.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Tabo is trying hard to remember a song he heard at the gym. Shame. Thanks to the new Samsung A56, he can give his brain a break. Simply press and hold the home button, tap on the music key symbol, hum or sing the melody, and boom! The Circle to Search AI feature instantly finds the song for you. Now Tabo can have an awesome gym session jamming to the best hits. Galaxy A56. Awesome intelligence is here.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
To the itchy, watery eyes, the cough, the sniff and sneeze, and the hives, we say unite against allergies.
Damazin once a day, keeping those allergies far away. Sniffs and sneezes out of our way. We're feeling better with Damazin once a day.
For 24-hour allergy relief, speak to your pharmacist about Damazin. Damazin gets it done.
Doll, you know you can't tell us anything, hey? You realize we can see all these men bringing you gifts at all hours, right?
Sorry?
Sweetie, we know about your weakness for men in uniform.
Excuse me? Those men in uniform work for one cart, and they understand my needs. Michelle, they shop the entire mall for me, like Macro, Lint, Toy Kingdom, and more. Maybe you should download OneCart and get your needs delivered in 60 minutes.
What's a Thursday without Lotto Star's real jackpot race? We are bringing you the hottest slots in a thrilling race where a share of 500,000 Rand could be yours. The jackpot is guaranteed to hit. Join the race every Thursday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. You could be one of 500 lucky winners. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Listen up, SA. The new McDonald's McCrispy is here with our loudest crunch yet. People may stare or comment while you enjoy the new McCrispy in quiet places like a study hall.
Quiet, please.
Or in theaters during the tasty McCrispy burger from McDonald's. A crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken fillet topped with our creamy lemon pepper sauce on a golden potato bun. The new McCrispy is our loudest crunch yet. Bring the noise.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Also, Portfolio Committee on Sport, Arts and Culture's Liam Jacobs also questioned Jordan on whether he is responsible as a leader.
I've asked the question, does he consider himself to be a responsible leader?
Next question.
This is not next question, I'm holding you accountable. Do you consider yourself to be a responsible leader?
Did you look at my areas of responsibility? I was sitting where you are sitting.
I'm asking you, it's a yes or no question.
I was sitting where you were sitting, and yes, I was a member of this parliament.
I'm asking, do you consider yourself to be a responsible leader? But this year lists your full travel expenses up until about January 2024. There's a lack of accountability because who is actually holding you to account, sir?
Tumit Lamini was with me. Do you have the costs there?
We want the truth, and no more lies.
#MSW. #MSW. Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights.
All right, let's dive straight into the beautiful game as well, into the heart of it, where the battle is pretty brutal. The stakes are very high. They're in fact sky high. The journey is anything but smooth. And one club, though, one vision, and a season that actually tested every nerve, every ounce of belief, every call right or wrong. And we break down the grind. I mean, the goals, the officiating, had tempers boiling and the fans pretty much roaring. There's no filters here. There's no fluff. I mean, this is football at its best. And when I talk about my guest tonight, I mean, he's conquered the Bundesliga, led giants, and now he's faced the fire in the trenches of the Motsepe Foundation Championship. And straight from the Cape, armed with stories, I guess a couple of scars and standards. He's here to tell it all. The head coach of Cape Town Spurs, the fearless, fiery, always unapologetic Ernst Middendorp. Sir, good to see you. Welcome. I know you looked around, you said you've never been here before. You've been to the old building, but welcome to the new environment. Good to see you. Welcome.
It's a fantastic environment. Thank you for the invitation.
You're still Cape Town Spurs coach?
My contract finished on the 30th of June, 25. That means as I'm sitting here, I'm still contracted. But to make it very clear, this what I'm talking in the moment, and of course also the open letter I was writing in the last couple of days or hours. I'm speaking my own mind. It has nothing to do with the club. On the other side, I worked with Cape Town Spurs now for nearly 1.5 years, and I must say a very honest club, really in this moment promising for individuals to have a career, to have a start of career, as we have seen in particular in the last couple of months. And obviously what we will see now, players like Luke Bartman or Denzel or other players who will make their way forward into the PSL, also from the club environment, a fantastic environment. And therefore it's absolutely a pity situation that this happened, ending the season in a position 15.
You've accepted the relegation.
The outcome, obviously, in the last couple of hours on Monday afternoon, obviously is the final one for now. I can't really say what the club is doing. If they ask for a review, if they go the next step, there are next steps. It's possible. I'm not involved in the moment.
But do you accept it, though, as a coach? Like if you had to look at the log table, it says Cape Town Spurs are relegated. Does that for you, and the reason why I ask you that is that on the back of the letter that you talk about, that you've written, sometimes, some people might not have read it or are accustomed to what you said, but it is a letter which you wrote, was it yesterday or the day before? But in short, you're saying that the National First Division is plagued by professional misconduct, manipulation, as well as political interference, in summary.
Yeah.
You believe that, and why do you believe that?
I must say I had an experience in terms of how games got or are getting influenced from outside, from external people. In 2008 in China, working with Changchun City in the Premier League there. Really, I won game 6-0, had nothing to do with it. I lost the game 3-0, has nothing to do with it. And in the end of the day, I left. I cancelled a $500,000 contract just because I couldn't handle. I couldn't handle this, not having really the possibility to do an honest, competitive, manage an honest, competitive game. I could see in 2009, they cleaned up the entire league. Managers were banned for life, and. So this is one point. Therefore, I'm talking based on having experienced how games are going, and there are too many bad days, so-called, regarding the officiating during the entire season. And very clear, I think, I'm not sitting here now and talk about. I mentioned it in my emotional video recorded going worldwide in the beginning of October 24. Very clear that I said something is wrong here. It can't be like this. Games are influenced through decisions going into the certain direction to get a proper outcome. And it didn't change. It continued and got even worse in the end. Let's say the last 4 or 5 games, what we have seen. And we sent clips with offside decisions, clips with decisions which was done to SAFA, but you don't get even a response, not at all.
And obviously to back what you're saying, I remember just after 7 games that you had coached at Spurs, you had already said that the referees are intentionally influencing the games.
Yeah.
Those clips that you mentioned, let's put them aside. Did you, as Ernst Middendorp, see anything with your naked eye that says something here is influencing that particular decision, that particular outcome that you can vouch for?
We can and have delivered a couple of clips, a couple of really situations where it has to be a penalty. It was really in this moment not by far an offside position where you get stopped. Away games, home games, it doesn't matter where, you were very clear. And let me go back to last year. There is one of the referees who retired, standing in front of the camera in public. Victor is his name, saying everybody has to understand that the referees get approached and get approached not only standing there, probably being approached and taking something, because in June, July, there are no games. They have to pay their fees for schools and so on. And I thought at that time, when I heard this, I said, now something should happen.
This is Victor
Something
Gomez.
should happen. No, not Victor Gomez, the other Victor. Something should happen.
Victor
Nothing
Shawani.
happened. Yes, nothing happened. Nobody was really following it up. I think if somebody put it in such a way that it happens, and coming out of this group of referees, that referees get approached from clubs, from owners, from managers, from whoever in this moment to fix an outcome, what he said, he made it very clear for a certain reason, and I'm surprised still today sitting here and nothing happened. The opposite is the case. It goes on and on and on. And I heard about, when I was in the PSL, coach, don't worry, the NFD is much, much, much worse. But I think actually they were right. It's really the worst I ever experienced in my 31 years.
Because of the referees, but do you think there was Cape Town Spurs? Were you targeted?
After probably after I made it so clear in October last year, I think so, yes. I mentioned it a couple of times, that probably I have the wrong skin. I can't change. I have a very clear understanding how a team should play. And I got even questioned from players like Liam Byrne, a very talented young defender, who said, Coach, I can't do it anymore. I want to stop playing football. We went so far. It's not only that I realized that the entire club, the entire environment made it very clear things are not going right, things are not going in a way as it should be. And absolutely, I would say that what happened. I will tell you even a story, and a couple of times, intentionally, during the game, I went to the fourth referee. I asked him, how much do you get? I asked him, when did you organize it? I asked him, is it transferred by to an account, or you get it in cash? What must be the outcome? I asked the fourth referee, what are you thinking if you're in the fourth referee position? What would be your response?
I have no idea. I'm just fascinated because
I expect in this moment that the referee get a very clear indication that this coach, in this case me, has to get off the field. A DC case should come to clarify where did you get this? How can you approach me in my honest doing? Nothing. It happened. Nothing.
You asked the fourth official.
Yes, a couple of times.
If he's
different fourth officials.
So you would go during the game,
yes,
and speak to them,
yes,
and say, how much have you been given for the game?
Yes.
Did they respond to you?
Nothing.
But what indication did you get though from them not responding? Because sometimes not responding.
I get it really clear. If somebody would have come to me in the position of the fourth referee, I would really stop each and everything and said, okay, listen, you go out, you get a special report, and in this moment we will see what we can make out of it. But this is really, I'm an honest man, I'm an honest referee, I'm an honest official to guide and to manage this game out of my position, and you can't come in such a way. Nothing. It happened nothing. In addition, and I can tell you, even even if you ask me how much, you get in the end of the season, you get SMS during the season, you get SMS 30,000 for a win, transfer it 15,000 for a draw. This is something what's going on in the market. You get it. I have seen it on the SMS of our management guys, and it's impossible. And now you think we get it only? No. And if you see some games in the end, how people acting, how it's the performance of goalkeepers. The last game, a team which is now in position going to the promotion rounds, you think something is wrong with the goalkeeper from the opponent in the 91st and 94th minute, something. You can't tell me that's normal.
But still, surely the South African Football Association, the authorities within the structures of the game in the country, there have been video clips, never mind the ones that Cape Town Spurs produced.
Yeah.
But there have been video clips, regardless, on social media that indicate what is happening on the field, because people intentionally go with their phones and they record a game, and something is very clear and blatant. It's against the laws of the game, and it is happening and nothing has happened.
Yeah.
So what do you think then is the future? Then what is the point? What is the point of anything happening? Because if there's no end consequences, then it's pointless.
I think we need more prominent voices who are really stand up and really make it happen, and not. It's obviously going over for years, and in this direction, I think we need really to protect the development. This NFD is called out for youth development to develop players, young players, so-called under 23 ages, and I think actually they really don't learn something. They learn in this moment to slow down. And if a normal game has a game ball in game time, the normal one is 55 minutes plus minus. And in an NFD, it comes to 45 and probably less game playing, and it's stop and go. It's definitely something. It's not good for the development of young players. And if we want to have it, and if we want to really feed the PSL to make the teams better, to have better players for the national team and so on, something has to happen. Sorry, I actually in the moment I can only raise my voice. As I said, I speak my mind. I hope that people hear it, and I hope that something has to be done or will be done in the near future. I touched a little bit into my open letter what should be done, and I hope for the benefit of the competition, for the benefit of the quality of the football game, and for the integrity, that something will happen.
Good evening, Robert Marawa, and also MSW family across the world. I'm way in Cape Town. Welcome to Coach Ernst Middendorp. I have just one question to him. Since Coach Middendorp never took responsibility for Cape Town Spurs being relegated from PSL to the league that they were in this previous season, is he now taking responsibility for having relegated or having been the head coach who was at the helm when this mighty team or great team of Cape Town Spurs got relegated to now even an amateur league division? Thank you, Rob. I just want to ask that question. Is he now taking responsibility, because he's been the coach from the first from the start of the season till the end of the season? Now the team got relegated. Thank you, Rob. Wonderful show.
Thank you so much.
It's a fantastic question, of course. I take responsibility. It's not a question to make, and it's not a question to answer. I'm the coach in this moment, being responsible. Of course, in the end, it comes back to me. On the other side, if you see the development start of the season, we had a very good start. We had a couple of players still inside the team. Then we started to let players go because they forced it. Stellenbosch gave the offer, Chiefs was approaching, and so on. And then, of course, you go through the season. Some players not really were so far educated or so far really already in a position to take leadership from Butsaka or from Cupido, etc. We played good games. There's no doubt about it. The last game against Durban City was a game what basically covered the entire season. We had the dominance in ball possession. We had the number of chances on our side. The second shot on target from Durban City came in the 85th minute. Believe me, I'm definitely going through every match, preparing and every match reflecting. That can be 100% sure. We had a lot of chats with the players individually, with the team in total, of course with the management. We really tried to find out what's missing. And as I said before, at any time, it's not a one-man show, but in the end, of course, it comes back to the head coach.
I mean, do you at times regret? I mean, we had Michael Morton here and he said the vibe wasn't great between the two of you. And then there were reports that yourself and Dortley weren't seeing eye to eye. Clayton Daniels had to come in and intervene. Mm-hmm. And then he found himself out of the team. So some of the player dynamic, how do you respond to that? And were those negative vibes between you?
Now you mix it up. You mix this season now, and you mix it up with a season, the second half of the season in the PSL. The second half of the season in the PSL, we were on position 6. If you take only this points and you take this 14, 15 games we had, we produced players. Why is Dortley today in Chiefs? Why? You have to approach sometimes players who have a certain tendency not being aggressive enough in terms of their progress. And good, you address it. And in the end, he played. In the end, he was part of the team at any time. Of course, experienced players, older players. Clayton Daniels have been a fantastic player. There's no doubt about it over the couple of years, decades. But at a certain time, and we made it very clear, he was part of the technical team for 5 weeks. I don't know if he mentioned it. We put him in January into the technical team, and we said, okay, good, you can help the team, but out of another perspective. And all of a sudden, from one day to another, he said, okay, I don't want to be a technical team member, I want to be a player again. Now you have to make a decision. Is this really something, what will happen, what will go? We made a decision before in the technical team, it will not work anymore. We have other players, young players who took over the position, and that's it. Regarding Michael Morton, of course, if players are getting in this moment approached, and I'm really honest in this direction. Michael also, I worked with him in Maritzburg, I worked with him before, and also a good guy, no problem about it, but certain players in certain moments are the last one who are able to value their contribution, and at a certain time you just must say, okay, is playing soccer, is being part of the team my first job, or I'm preparing already for something else. We can discuss it in certain moments, and if players and human beings are really honest, I think you should be, and believe me, I am. I'm a believer in this moment. I'm knowing very, very clear in this moment what I have said, what I have discussed with the players, and in this moment, if there would be definitely something, not a good chemistry, not a good vibe, the club management with the leadership of Alexis, Nick and Ari would have definitely done something, you can be sure.
Coming back after the break, we continue our conversation. Plenty of your WhatsApp voice notes. And if you wanting to tune into the YouTube channel, we are live and also taking your comments as well as questions.
Hashtag MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
The Bakkie Bonanza is in 2 years and I'm only getting my rewards in 4 years. My Bakkie won't be ready.
4 years, bro?
Yeah.
I'm with My Way and I will be getting my cash back in just 2 years.
What?
My Bakkie will have all the accessories. No yada yada.
Introducing My Cashback from My Way. Stay claim-free for just 2 years and get 10% of your premiums back to live your way. Go to myway.co.za and get a quote today. My Cashback is a feature on qualifying products paid after 2 claim-free years and all premiums paid. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
Do you sometimes feel like you're not reaching your full potential and often hitting a slump? Slowmag, the #1 magnesium supplement, helps you fight that constant feeling of tiredness and aids in rapid recovery after physical activity. Slowmag is available from leading retail pharmacy chains, selected retail stores, and independent pharmacies nationwide. Beat your slump with Slowmag. Visit slowmag.co.za for more. Get information on medicines without a prescription from the online medicine directory from your trusted source, SAPRA.
Aware, Bernard Parker here, about to drop some truth. Betfred offers odds so sweet, they can't be beat. Come with me to betfred.co.za and have a peek at Russia Goes Lotto, UK 49s, Nifty 50s, all in our line at Betfred. You can always bet on Fred.
Betfred is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s are permitted to gamble. National Responsible Gambling Program on 0800 006 008. All games are fixed odds. Betting events. Winners know when to stop.
Supercall is searching for its brand voice, and we need your help. Vote for your favorite voiceover artist and stand to win your share of 50,000 rands in instant prizes. It's that easy. Go to supercallvoicesearch.co.za. Vote for your favorite and stand to win. Check out our socials for more info, and let's get loud with Supercall. Whatever the symptom, there's a Supercall for that. T's and C's apply.
In the world of business, every second counts. Postnet isn't just a service, it's an extension of our business. They handle our shipments, bulk printing, and so much more. It's like having an extra division without the overheads.
That's because Postnet is a community partner, rooting for your success. Postnet, empowering businesses one account at a time, getting you across the line.
Vodacom's Red Hot Deals brings you great value offers. Save a massive 1,200 Rand when you add a 20 gig SIM-only plan to your contract for only 99 Rand per month over 24 months. And get 20 gigs of data monthly. That's 10 gigs anytime and 10 gigs night owl data for mega enjoyment. Miss it, miss out. Available in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
SAFA, the executive, together with its president, Danny Jordan, well, they appeared before the Parliamentary Committee for Sport, Arts and Culture today to account for its latest audited financial statements. Jordan was asked whether he has overstayed his welcome in football leadership.
Tate Danny Jordan, you know this country respects you so much. In your gut feeling, do you have a feeling of having overstayed your welcome as the president of SAFA or in the leadership of SAFA?
In any position in a democracy, you cannot give yourself a position. You cannot decide when you stay, when you go. That is the responsibility of our 52 regions, and they will take that decision. It's not for me to say I want to be a president. I never said that to them. They will decide when they want and what their decision that they want to take.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Coach Ernst Middendorp. Coach, you wrote a very comprehensive letter outlining the issues in the Motsepe Foundation Championship. Were you going to write that letter if the team had survived relegation? Do you think your tactics are still relevant in the game of today, considering that you inherited a promotional team that gained promotion with Coach Sean Bartlett into Betway Premiership, yet you managed to relegate that team in 2 consecutive seasons? Are you going to go down with them at ABC Motsepe because their issues are even worse than Motsepe Foundation Championship issues that you've highlighted? Thank you so much, Tebogo.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. Ernst Middendorp is my guest. Coach of Cape Town Spurs is with me. Newly relegated Cape Town Spurs, and he is my guest, just negotiating off air. And he says, guys, we talk to the team here behind the scenes, and they say, guys, listen, we need this to go on for another 30 minutes post 7 o'clock. So I'm giving you a heads up. It's a riveting conversation, and we really want you to be a part of it. Questions, comments, phone into the studio, post them on the YouTube channel. We will have Ernest Middendorp for another 30 minutes after 7 o'clock. So that's the agreement. And Coach, thank you for that latitude. Thanks to the team as well for agreeing to it. Debogo's question is, twice relegated, finding a promotional team post Sean Bartlett. It's now relegated to ABC Motsepe. He says it's even worse. If you think what you've seen now is bad, it's worse down there. Will you be going down with them to the ABC Motsepe League?
No, that is not in our plans, not in my plans. To answer Debogo with a very clear message, I would have written this letter also if we would have been not relegated. You can be 100% sure. I made it already in October 24, very clear in very clear statement. What's going on here, what's happening here is not right. Therefore, I can only be very honest and very clear about it. It's not about me. It's not about the club. It's about really the soccer, the game, the integrity of the game. What's important for me.
So again, so that people are not mistaken in terms of what you're answering, you will not be going to the ABC Motsepe League.
No.
So that's part of the agreement.
We haven't even discussed it. I was really in this moment after the second half of the last season in the PSL. It was very clear that we have been successful. We built a team in the second half of the season where we have only taken this 14-15 games. I was managing. We were on position 6 in the end. But of course, Gadiel left, KG left, Dordley left. We had a couple of players beginning of the season. They were leaving, going to Stellenbosch and so on. But after discussions with Alexis and Ari and Nick, the owner of Cape Town Spurs, I believe that could be the right project with a lot of young players going into the direction, make it happen that we will take a step, the first step after relegation, and then in this moment build it from there. That was a very clear understanding, and even during the season there were possibilities in October 24 to step out from my side, but I believed in this project and I made it very clear from the beginning till the end. If I start something, then in this moment the belief and the trust into the players were there. The next part of the question, what in this moment is different in soccer today or in soccer in the past? Everything is more pacey, everything is more forward thinking, and I can show you the GPS, I can show you our analysis of the games, and if you take the last game, I don't know what are you thinking, Tebogo, about the tactics. I think we had a very clear dominant game over 90 minutes with a lot of possibilities. We didn't score, we had twice hit the crossbar. We were definitely on top of the game with a very clear strategy, with a very clear way playing soccer in a good way, and unfortunately we lost it. That's the part of the game, and that is not only the only game. We played against Orbit in the beginning of May, and in halftime Kevin Hunt said you have to lead, or that is 3-0. It's really messy that it is still 0-0, and in the end it was 0-0. Now I'm asking you, what's wrong? What's wrong in this moment? We definitely, and I can assure you, despite my age, I'm on the highest level, knowing exactly what in the modern football is requested and required. You can be 100% sure.
It must be a popular question that gets thrown at you. The same happens with Gavin Hunt. He was here. The same question. I'm looking at Twitter right now. Lindy says that, coach being out of touch with the new age football tactics, who doesn't want to give up coaching. So that's the perception, because there's a belief that there's a new way, there's a new age, there's a new method of coaching the game of football that you are out of touch with. Would you agree with that?
I can speak only for me, and I believe Kevin Hunt will be on the same level. I can only speak for me, and definitely if somebody wants to have discussions with me about soccer in terms of the way how it should be done, how the periodization should be done, how the conditioning model, it doesn't matter if we are talking about Verheyen, it doesn't matter if we talk about really what's requested in terms of conditioning, in terms of really putting stuff together tactically. Sorry, we can spend day and night, and I can only talk for myself. Really, believe me, I'm on the highest level. I know exactly in this moment what's requested, and we spend a lot of time with players, and why certain players are making progress, why certain players are coming really in this moment from Cape Town Spurs, in particular in the last 1.5 years into the PSL. I think everybody knows the name. You think it's by accident. You think it's by accident that certain players like Liam Berg Jan or Denzel now or Luke also will go probably into the PSL direction. It's not by accident. It's by work, what we are doing during the week. And again, back to it, if you have to fight with these external factors, in the end of the day, good. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for every player and for every professional who is in the boat in this direction. And that is what happened during the entire season. I'm not going here and blaming. I could talk about a lot what happened behind the scene. But as I said, I take responsibility. That's my duty. But please don't come with this nonsense. And I don't know what is it about soccer anymore.
Did you ever feel like you wanted to resign during the season?
We had a couple of times a very clear understanding about, even in October last year when I made this clear call. We had a couple of times in February, March, where I really definitely made it very clear. I don't know how far I can handle it furthermore with this, what's happening here on the field. The work from Monday to Friday, absolute pleasure. And if you are creative, if you have really something to say and something to develop with the players with a certain purpose into the training sessions is fantastic. But we made it, or I made it very clear to Alexis, to Ari, and Nick in particular. Is it possible to go further? Is it possible really to make it happen? As I said, we had a lot of discussions, and in the end, we came to agreement to believe in it, to trust each other, players, coaches, technical team, and that is how it goes.
All right, a very good question coming through from the YouTube channel. Mfundo Brian says that, good evening, coach. Please ask him if he anticipates that Spurs might buy an NFT status. Have you heard of that? Is there? we see this happen on a regular basis. Do you think, or have you heard, will they be buying another status?
I said I'm not really involved in the moment. What is the plan? What should be done? What can be done? Of course, I know the case now was finalized with a verdict putting into the public on Monday, and I'm a little bit around how it goes, how it went. Very interesting, by the way. But actually, I can't tell you what's the situation in terms of buying. I don't know. Actually, it's very crucial to have at least the professional team on the NFD level to keep, and that is what you have to see, to keep the value of players, Denzel, Liam, Luke, and so on. I think actually that's one perspective. If it is a final perspective, I don't know. Really in this moment, not only players suffering what they see, not only the technical team members, I think the owners also, what they see day in, day out, match day in, match day out, and how they have to really take it. I think it's not an easy task for the ownership too.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening to MSW family and to your coach on the studio, Coach Middendorp. Quick one, Rob. Coach shouldn't come here and use this national platform to try and make an excuse of his performance with the team 2 consecutive seasons. You know, he's been that one of a coach who always on the touchline will be on the referee's back. Rob, it's simple. If he's got evidence of what is mentioned about the SMSs from his management, let him come out and present same as evidence, and people been taken to task. We can't come and listen to him trying to brush off that he got relegated a team from professional ranks to the amateur ranks with Chico Emdin.
Chico, thank you so much.
Chico, I'm not sitting here and making excuse. I'm telling only what's going behind the scene. And that is not to put the evidence in. And I said we sent it to SAFA. I said we proved a lot into this direction. And absolutely, it's not my final say to go further or to go into the direction and to ask for clarifying it. I can tell you only what's happened behind the scene. I can tell you only what's happened when you go on match day, into the match day, and what happened in which way you get confronted. And please watch it. I think let's be very clear. I mentioned this quite some minutes ago. Did something happen when Victor made this statement that everybody should accept and should know that referees are getting approached because in June, July there are no games? Did something happen? Nothing. So now I think that's answer enough.
Maybe we must give Victor Hlongwane a call and ask him about that, because I found it, I don't even know the word to describe that. Completely unbelievable. Like I said, guys, stay there. There's still plenty to go through. Ernst Middendorp is my guest. We're going to continue on the YouTube channel post 7 o'clock as well. So we'll say goodbye to everybody that's listening on the traditional platform. So we migrate to the YouTube channel. So stick around. Otherwise, catch us again tomorrow. Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. Hashtag MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM and Soweto Live. At the same time. Hashtag MSW. Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Also, Portfolio Committee on Sport, Arts and Culture's Liam Jacobs also questioned Jordan on whether he is responsible as a leader.
I've asked the question, does he consider himself to be a responsible leader?
Next question.
This is not next question, I'm holding you accountable. Do you consider yourself to be a responsible leader?
Did you look at my areas of responsibility? I was sitting where you are sitting.
I'm asking you, it's a yes or no question?
I was sitting where you were sitting, and yes, I was a member of this parliament.
I'm asking, do you consider yourself to be a responsible leader? But this year lists your full travel expenses up until about January 2024. There's a lack of accountability because who is actually holding you to account, sir?
Tumi Dlamini was with me. Do you have the costs there?
The truth, and no more lies. Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
All right, all the YouTubers, good to have you on board. Thank you so much indeed. Do send those comments, questions, or otherwise. We've got Ernst Middendorp here, who is our guest on hashtag MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide. It's a Wednesday today. It is soccer night and an intriguing conversation. Do give us a call as well if you want to call us directly in studio. It is 011-883-8947. Otherwise, the WhatsApp voice notes 0607080484, 0607080484. It is an interactive show. So much to get through. And once again, we take it into overdrive, extra time, referees, optional time, whatever you want to call it. Referees being the center of what has been going on here. Also taking your questions.
Hi, good evening, Darop, and good evening to your guest there, Coach Ernst Middendorp Mazinho. Few questions. I don't know if they may sound relevant. Number one, as a Kaizer Chiefs fan, can he tell me or us as to why does he think went wrong when Chiefs lost the league in the last day during COVID? And then secondly, Cape Town Spurs are not the first team that got relegated while he's the head coach. Doesn't he think maybe he's also part of the problems? And then the last one, what is his honest opinion about South African football in general? Thank you.
Gotcha. Thanks so much indeed, man. Lots of questions. Ernst Middendorp.
Let's start with the last one. As long as a second team in the PSL is behind Sundowns with 15 points, plus minus, something is not good. That is not good for the competition. That's not good for the indication that we have a good league, that we have a competitive league. If it is year in, year out, 15 points behind Sundowns, that's not good. Second question, of course, in these days, it is enough for Chiefs to go into the top 8. Obviously, of course, during the bubble, and I think the run was a little bit taken off when COVID jumped in March in 2020. We had to start to follow certain Regularien rules and regulations in terms of preparing our team for the bubble. We had not enough really to make the team working as it worked before. And of course, in the end, it was not done. It was position 2. At that time, of course, everybody was very clear about position 2 is a disaster. That was the way how I was sent off the ship in this moment. If you think it was me in this moment, then be happy with it. I know where I brought this team from position 9 to position 2, not with a lot of new players, just basically Samir Nukovic and Kieran Bacchus coming out of Australia. That was all. The rest was there. We worked before with number 9. I don't know, was another part of questions I have to answer? I forgot something.
I think the trio of questions,
Yeah.
you covered them.
Thank you.
Just including that, and obviously that last minute or last 15 minutes of Chiefs not winning the league would have been key, because that memory still lives long and hard in people's minds and memories for the longest time. All right. As I said, plenty of questions that are coming through. We've got former FIFA referee Victor Hlongwane on the line. Vic, thanks so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Robs, and good evening to your listeners.
The incidents that happened in the first division, the Motsepe Foundation Championship, are you aware of referees and them taking bribes, taking money, influencing outcomes of games? Is that something you're aware of?
Robs, I'm not aware of referees taking bribes in the first division. One day I was asked as to are referees approached. Then the answer is yes, referees are approached. But as to whether I saw someone taking bribery, I've never seen that. But I've been approached in Nigeria. I've been approached in Congo. So approaches will always be there. So, but as to whether I saw someone taking money in the team, but what I've seen is the decisions that referees took in the first division, where referees were suspended. For example, there was a game between Kasrik and Venda FA where a goal was given, which was not supposed to be a goal. Referees were suspended for almost 3 months. So, yeah, we do find those mistakes, but as to whether those referees took money or not, we don't know.
But have you said anything publicly, though, Vic, let's say in front of an Ernst Middendorp, who's here as my guest, that, yes, you can attest that these things do happen, but there have really been no outcomes?
Like I said, Rob, at one of the podcasts, I think it was Brasten, I was asked, referees approached? The answer was yes. Referees are approached, because I have been approached myself in Nigeria. So, but as to whether referees, I saw a referee taking money, no. I've never seen a referee taking money. But approach as to whether a team official will say, Mr. Victor, how are you going to assist us win this match? It's an approach, and it has happened to me. So, but as to whether a referee went to take money, I've never seen that. And I've never said that.
Yeah. Ernst, any question or comment to Victor? I mean, he's a former referee. He's somebody you've interacted with.
Yeah, good. It's so far what he is saying now, diverting it to Congo and Nigeria. I think it was very clear at that show, at that podcast, what I saw. It was about South African football. It was about refereeing here in South Africa, and he made it very clear. The approaching is there from referees, and of course, the evidence that something has been taken, is not there. That is definitely, meanwhile, in a way possible to handle it, to make it happen. Of course, it's very difficult to put it in place. I can only tell you from my perspective in terms of being the coach and really not being able to understand some decisions, and it can't be always a bad day. It can't be always a bad day of a linesman, of officiating, whatever. And as I said, that is what I can say. And in this moment, I have seen and I have experienced in a lot of games, I would say in the end it cost us around 10 points.
Victor, just as a final parting shot, and I do appreciate you coming on though, because it looks like South African football is in danger of losing a great deal of credibility. It's not the first time. It's not because of Ernst Middendorp coming here that we raised the issue about referees, assistant referees, match officials, whatever it is. It's a cancer that's there, Vic. Whether we like it or not, it is there. What should be done so that we try and restore the image of the game?
Yeah, Rob, when I was in the system, some of us were properly cooked to be in the system. And then there was a time where many of our young referees were promoted in large numbers. And the demand of a PSL referee and NFD referee, it's high. This is the highest level of professional football in the country. Some of our referees are failing to cope with that demand because they were, pushed, accelerated instead of properly being trained, nurtured to be at that level. So that's what we are experiencing now. So hopefully they will now, with the 2-3 years that they have, they will now be better in the next season to cope with the demand of a PSL referee and NFT referee to reduce this mistake, because at one stage it was too much. But we're hoping that they will reduce, because it's up to an individual to improve his game. If you don't improve your game, you'll continuously make mistakes and coaches will complain. And some will even think that you have taken something only to find it's an honest mistake. So we have a lot to do in the refereeing fraternity to improve the standards so that we reduce the complaint from the coaches.
All right, former FIFA referee there, Victor Hlongwane, now a television superstar. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Daraf.
All right, great stuff indeed. And I'm going to quote from what Ernst Middendorp says. It says, "I'm not one to stay silent when the game is in danger." You've said this time and time again, and you haven't stayed silent. You've repeated that once again here on the show. Let's take more of your questions or comments.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening to MSW listeners. This is Lawrence from Protea Glen. I hear Coach Middendorp mentioning a lot of despicable scenes that he has encountered at NFD. I just want some clarity. The suggestions that he has made, has he submitted them to any organization or to SAFA so that they can look at it? And also, on the other hand, there is the referees committee. The coaches. The coaches, they've got their own association, or let me say a sort of a league or an organization that leads them. Is there any way that these guys are meeting every now and then and communicating with the powers that be? Thank you, Rob.
I think in a nutshell, it's probably asking if there's a coaches' union.
There is obviously a coaching union, but I can tell you, and that's my impression, nobody's talking and everybody is silent. There's something to do to get blackmailed, to lose a job, to be in this moment painted with something, talking too much or whatever. This is what it is in the league. You can, if you talk with some coaches, probably here and there, they confirm it, but nobody is saying anything, and that there is a reason for it. It's just you need your job, you need your position, you need your outcome in certain areas, and it's very, very crucial. So what professionals are doing in this moment, they keep quiet and look after themselves, and that is what it is. This first part of the question, I mentioned it already a couple of times. Of course, we delivered very clear clips. We delivered really very clear indications where we could see it can't be a bad day. It has to be reviewed. We sent letters, and I think Victor Gomez is one of the main guys who should come back to the club, but no answer, not at all. And that tells you, you can send it to SAFA. SAFA is in charge. You can send it to PSL. PSL is in charge, but you're not getting any response. It's just you can do it again and again, but as I said, I'm a believer, and I believe if you do it, you have the trust, you have the faith that something will happen in a certain couple of days, couple of months, couple of years. I don't know, but actually I don't want to be silent, and I really, in this moment, make it very clear. It's not sitting here and to make an excuse. I have done it with the beginning of the season, very, very clear, in a very loud way, again and again, and that's how it is.
If you're not renewing your contract, then what's the next move? If you're not going to be renewing the contract with Spurs, what will be your next move?
I like this coaching job, and I think I'm very creative. If you talk to the players, you can do this in this moment, how the training is going, what are we doing, in which way we are coaching, or I'm coaching on the level, everything a purpose in terms of the style, in terms of what you expect in the moments of the game. I like this very much still, and if I don't like it anymore, but unfortunately in the moment it's more than less from Monday to Friday. If the game is coming on Saturday, in particular in the last year in the NFD, you get frustrated and you need another 1-2 days. I like it. I'm not forcing myself into something in the moment. It's just really to work it out, what happened, to work it out in discussions with certain people who know soccer, who can see what happened. And I think actually I'm very blessed with people around me who give me an honest answer.
And your next project, will it be in the Premier Soccer League, Betway Premiership? Have you had any approaches that have been made directly to you?
No, in the moment not. I had a very clear approach in the run of the season in October last year. I made it clear. I said no. I want to. I believe in this project from our Cape Town Spurs. I want to go through. I denied that possibility, and that's happened, and there's nothing to regret about it. I make a decision, and if I make a decision going through something, then I do that. What's coming in the next moment, I don't know. Actually, I probably have the same situation like Kevin Hunt. We have to wait and we have to see what's coming, what's going. And I'm in a very good position just to say, okay, I like this being involved, but on the other side, it's not really something that I have to do it. I have to do each and everything.
Well, I've got it on record now. I know I asked you before if you think the team is going hunting for another franchise. So my Scorpions have come back to me and said that 100% Cape Town Spurs are looking at the possibility of buying a franchise. If they are successful in getting that franchise, would you change your mind about staying on? Would you want to carry on with the project if they do get the franchise?
I have no idea in this moment. I cannot confirm this, that the club, the ownership is doing that. That means in this moment I also cannot answer this question you direct into my face now. We haven't really spoken about it at all. There were cases to really be busy with it, to really be well prepared in discussions. I think the club has done it in a fantastic way, and it should have been another verdict, in my opinion, another outcome, not the outcome what we have seen and what we have experienced on Monday. It should have been different. If you go to rules and regulations, to the law, it's also something where I think actually a review is definitely advisable, but that's also my opinion. I'm not sitting here and say no or yes. The club, the ownership has to decide. They have seen me working every day. They have seen me working my work, comparing with coaches they had from Amsterdam or from Holland, from other countries, and even I believe Sean Bartlett with his team did a fantastic job. There's no doubt about it. But it's also always a question: is it the right timing? Is it the right way to go into this direction together again or not? And that's not my decision, and I have not been approached, and I actually have not even thought about it.
Where do you think the arbitrator got it wrong? Because he was very clear in his ruling on Monday, Hilton Epstein, that he dismisses the case.
Yeah, let me go a little bit some days further back.
Yeah,
there was another arbitrator. The arbitrator who was there before was really collecting all this evidence. He was collecting on Tuesday, on Wednesday, from both sides. All of a sudden, this arbitrator was not available anymore on Thursday.
Correct.
Till today, and I ask different people, what was the reason? Why is this arbitrator running away? Got he sick? Is he in ICU, or is he under shock, or whatever? In terms of nobody could till today could tell me why this arbitrator was all of a sudden not available anymore. Then
what do you suspect?
I think actually he had a very clear idea about it, how the outcome should be, and obviously it was not in alignment with how it should be, because there are communications I have seen in writing where if this comes into this direction, then it causes a chaos in the league. I have seen letters, communication in writing between certain parties. And I believe it's my thinking, it's my speaking my own mind. I believe that there was definitely a disagreement in the outcome. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Epstein came in. I hope I don't say anything wrong. I think Mr. Epstein is sitting even with the lawyers from Durban City in the same building here in Sandton. And then all of a sudden we have an outcome as we have it received on Monday afternoon.
You saying that Epstein was in the same building as the Durban City officials?
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
As much as it's Durban City who are residing in Durban, you say that they were in the same building?
No, the attorneys, the attorneys who represent in this moment a club, and then you understand the procedure behind closed doors. And actually, it's very clear. If this would have been in a different way decided, it would have been a chaos. There's no doubt about it. The league would have been totally different. And I think actually that is at all costs to avoid. Therefore, in this moment, a lot of experts said, don't worry, don't think something will come. That is why I said, we have seen it. It started with the Swallows a year before. 2 times not coming to the game, meaning in this moment you are out. Then it goes to Royal AM. Then now look at this, what we have now. I don't know the outcome of John Comite's Cape Town City. There is a game in February, very clear, where it is said you as a home team have the responsibility to look for a plan B, a generator or whatever, make sure everything is set up. 45 minutes were played, and then at this moment it couldn't continue. Now, you have to sort it out in the next 1, 2, 3 weeks. Why are you waiting till the end of the season and look how it has to be in the end, who should get the point to get on the safe side? This is all something we can only speculate about it, but I'm speaking about it. I speak my mind. I don't sit here and in this moment saying, oh my goodness, I have to be careful about being blackmailed or whatever. No, I don't do this. I'm really not this person, not on a soccer field. If I address a certain issue with Michael Morton or with Clayton Daniels or whoever in this moment, I make it very clear. And even I have expectations if I talk to Denzel Duplay, if I talk to Liam Byrne, if I talk to Luke Bartman to take the other side of the ages, I tell them exactly what I'm expecting. And in this moment, I think Rushwin Dudley should be very happy about that he had me the 6 months as a coach. Otherwise, he would not have been there where he is today.
At Kaizer Chiefs.
Absolutely.
On the matter of fact and legal fact, what's the biggest part of Epstein's ruling that you disagree with?
Actually, there are very clear rules and regulation in terms of registering a player, in terms of having something really as it is on paper. And in this moment, as I see the case, and I have followed it up really into details, it's really strange that this outcome in total is coming in such a way. Actually, for me, it looks a little bit like obviously a little bit a disaster what I'm saying now, but it looks a little bit there's a murder case. The victim is clear, but in this moment the judges are sitting there and say, oh, we are destroying the life of this murder, and we are destroying the life of this family, and we are destroying this life of the community probably, and okay, let him go, and he is free. Something like this. That is how I smell it. I know it will be causing a disaster in this moment, but it's my opinion, and I think I'm here sitting and to make my point. My point is not the point of a club. It's my point, my personal point, as I'm in this business for 31 years.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, there's so many issues though, because I know just before we started the show, you know, the league had issued the playoff program. So the playoff program is going to be starting, and it involves the 3 teams, including Cape Town City. So there's no turning back in terms of that. And there's a big potential here, Coach, of 2 teams from Cape Town being relegated in one season. Yeah. One in the lower division, one in the upper division. Yeah. We've had Santos a couple of seasons back, and, you know, they pretty much lost wherever they are. What's the danger of that?
Let me go to another point. Why it happened, Rob, Stellenbosch, John, Cape Town City, all of a sudden not in the Exco anymore. Why does this happen? Is it really in this moment there should be at least one who is representing the Western Cape? Both out. Is it? Do you not smell something? Do you not thinking something is wrong? It's my opinion. Again, actually, it's very strange when I saw that, and that is where probably teams out of Western Cape, out of Cape Town, in the moment end up.
Which leaves what in terms of the future then of Cape Town football?
My personal opinion, and I have not really had probably the balls in this moment internally to say it, but my clear opinion is in this moment, there are family issues in Cape Town City and Cape Town Spurs. These family issues should be resolved, is my very clear opinion. Put all your power, put all your facilities, all your infrastructure together, make one powerful club, put your personal pride to the side, and show what can be done in Cape Town, what can be done with one club, and then go your way and be a powerful house in the end of the day. In the moment, it's really a pity situation. In addition, that something like happen in such a way to split up and to really destroy the possible powerhouse in Cape Town.
Well, I mean, we know the Efstathio family as well as the committee's family, that particular conflict has been there for many years, even jointly when they were still together at Ikamva, which then caused the split. And one went left, the other one went right, and then Mpumalanga Black Aces became Cape Town City, etc., etc. Long story. But you're still saying that today, on the 4th of June, 2025, that war is still on?
It's probably on hold. Let me take it something like this.
Yeah.
But it's actually there are always possibilities, and I said I'm a believer. I'm went more than less into the Christian life more and more, like I was educated in my young years, and I have faith in something like this will happen, will come, and that's the best way really in this moment if you want to bring back Cape Town into a position where they have been, and that's the only way in this moment and nothing else.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Marawa and the team. Coach, my question to you is, don't you think that you made a miscalculated risk by going down with Cape Town Spurs to a league which you didn't understand its dynamics? For a global coach like you, don't you think that it was a miscalculated risk that you shouldn't have taken? David in Parkwood.
Miscalculated?
Yeah. I was aware about it. It's not an easy project. Therefore, we can probably confirm that it was a miscalculated one. But as I said, we started with a certain team. We started the first games, I think 4 games, we had 8 or 9 points. We had a couple of players still there. Then it started. Dalen Klaassen got injured. Cupido got the way out to Stellenbosch. Butsaka got the way out to Stellenbosch. Some other players were also not in the way as it could be or should be. Luke Bartman came back from the national team, was injured, was out for 4 or 5 months. Actually, it is not a situation where I would say miscalculated. It was a little bit under certain circumstances really going forward, but then week in, week out, other circumstances come along, and then of course you try to find solutions. Therefore, in this moment, and as I said, there were possibilities to jump out. There were possibilities early in the season in October to jump out and to go somewhere else, and in this moment to leave the project, but that's not my way. I went through together with the owners, with the management guys, and that's my way how to handle it.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa, and to Coach Ernst Middendorp. My question would be, Coach, seeing that you've complained about what's happening in the ABC Motsepe League and things that are going down there. I mean that I have my father who played and coached in way back when it was the Castle League, and then the Vodacom League just after that. And I remember years ago having exactly the same problem where external sources decide league winners and they decide who wins and who plays, no matter how hard you play. That sometimes if it's not meant for you and it's not meant to be you, and I think we're still having that problem in our lower leagues. And do you think that it would ever be sorted, or how do we sort that out? What would your advice be to say, let's SAFA, if they invite you to give that invite, so what would your turnaround be to turn it around? Because I think that's why we have the same teams going up and down, if that would be the reason, and why we don't always see different and newer teams coming up. So how do we sort that out? Cheslin from Boksburg.
Cheslin in Boksburg, thank you so much, Coach?
It's quite easy. Approach it again, and I said it before. Prominent voices should come out, should make the point. I think 1 or 2 years there was Coach Koppo with Pretoria Callis, who mentioned a similar and stepped out and left NFD. Certain reason moving on. I think in the end, to have it really, and I hear Gayton McKenzie very often that he wants honesty, that he wants competition, that he wants to clarify the soccer. He wants to have a World Cup team. He wants to have teams who really competitive. He wants a competitive league, and he wants really a clean up. I think the only chance in this moment is that Gayton McKenzie steps in and really do what has to be done.
What does he have to do?
They are not good anyway to point out and to, as I said, have followed this ANC, and I have followed this SAFA members sitting there, and to answer, I had a little bit an impression that the SAFA members were more the politicians than the real politicians. The answers were ducking and diving around the questions in a way that could not really be the way how it should be done. I think Gayton McKenzie, I have met him some years ago in Ghana. He has also a very, very clear CV, knowing what's wrong, paid for it, and knowing in this moment definitely what's right. And actually he follows this, what's right, on all departments where he is in the moment involved. And I think a strong hand, a strong direction can become in, and who can do this? I believe Gayton can do this.
Would it not, as a final parting shot though, because as much as I know that he can institute a commission of inquiry into football and everything that's going on at whatever level, you also stand at risk though of going against the FIFA prescripts of talking about government interference in football.
If it has to be done, it has to be done. And very clear, if it is meaning that FIFA comes in at a certain point and say, okay, good, that should not be, we have to take you out for a certain time, for a certain period. But I think there are other ways really to address it and to really make it happen. That is in this moment also in alignment with FIFA regularian, I'm quite sure.
Ernst Middendorp, as always, thank you so much indeed for being our guest and for extending the time. And as you heard, there's so much interest in what you have to say. Maybe if there's anything that I've left out, I haven't asked you, please, you've got the final word.
I can only talk about that whoever really has honesty and who really love an integrity of a good soccer game and going with pleasure to a game, not knowing what the outcome is, not and seeing that everybody handles it professional, the official, the coaches, the players really compete and having fun after 19 minutes, going home and say what an afternoon, what an evening. I think that is what we should fight for, and absolutely I know it's possible, but we need more than one voice. We need a lot of voices in this moment to make it happen, and then in this moment it will come that we have more a bigger crowd, more really in this moment people coming into the stadium and watch NFD games, watch PSL games and so on. I think that's really my wish, and I hope people will listen to it.
Coach, once again, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that's been watching on the YouTube channel. We'll catch you again tomorrow. This has been #MSW. Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.